me go find the band. We have no one on stage. That's awesome.
Hello.
So, Allie, we will not start until I actually have confirmed that the whole band is there.
Yeah, I see Jacob and John right now, but that's it.
Copy. I'm going to check the conference room.
Oh, one of the Jasons is out too. And Becca. They're filtering on the stage.
Copy.
We could just have Andy hop up on stage. He's right up front anyway. He could ad-lib some comedy.
He can acapella something for us.
That would be comedic.
Yeah, I don't think I would want to hear that from him.
He's not that bad.
Yeah.
All right,
sure.
now we got more of a band here. Thank you, Brandon. Let's do, yeah. Let's see, Carrie, keys 1. You want to check? Perfect. Clicks coming through, thank you. Clicking tracks are good. All right, guitars. We got some acoustic, I got some lead, got some bass. Got some rhythm.
Oh, you got signal from me, Matt?
I
Thank
see
you,
ya.
man. I think. Thank you. And then do we have...
I think I'm just gonna go hands-free on the camera and just let it do what it does while it hangs.
Sweet. We'll do.
Around.
If everybody could do hands free, we'll just.
All right, band. We're gonna start on time in 30 seconds.
Matt, you guys all good?
We're good up here. Jimmy,
Copy,
get
we'll
those
start on
hips
time.
moving, and we'll swing back and forth. You know. All right, 15 seconds to video.
Weekend update in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Baptism is an important next step in your walk with Jesus. During
John, did
Jesus'
that kick
time
feel better
on
in your
earth,
ears,
he
that
was
service?
baptized in water as a declaration of his obedience and love for God. Jesus commanded
Yes.
his followers to do the same,
Also,
to
I
go
like the new
public with
mics
their
a lot
faith
more.
by being
they're great.
baptized. Our next baptism is on November 5th during our Sunday worship gatherings. If you are ready to take your next step and get baptized, I want to encourage you to sign up now with the link on your screen and fill out the form to get started. Please register
Man,
by
there's,
October
like, no one in
20th
the
so we
room.
can schedule your testimony video.
Everybody's always late to 11, don't you know?
One more video.
All right, 30 seconds coming out to camera 1, and then going to camera 5 on drums.
I don't have a track on Brandon.
Heading
Zoom
into
out.
worship
There he
in
is.
10,
There he is.
9, 8,
You just zoom in a little bit.
7,
Zoom in,
6,
Stella.
5, 4,
Right there.
I've
Good.
got 'em
Thank you.
too.
Here we go. Oh, too much, too much, too much.
Good morning, Journey.
Focus,
Welcome.
focus.
We're excited to have you with us to worship. We're going to celebrate Him.
Stand
Start
by
with a
camera
song of praise.
5.
Let's stand together. Let's sing out.
Take
You're
5.
on iron. Welcome. Let's sing together.
All right, 2, tilt down a little bit, please.
Praise in the valley. Praise on the
Ready, camera 1. Take 1.
I'll
No.
praise when I'm sure.
Sorry about that.
Ready, camera 2.
When I'm doubting.
Take 2.
I'll praise when outnumbered. Praise
Somebody's
when
mic's open.
surrounded.
Ready, camera 5.
'Cause praise is the water
Take 5.
my enemies
Hey, Stella, can you
drown.
turn off your mic? Ready, camera 7.
As long as
Take
I'm
7.
breathing, I've got a reason to praise.
Nice. Nice shot. Nice shot. Following, following, following. Ready, camera 4. Take 4. Ready, camera 2. Take 2. Ready, camera 5.
I'll praise when I don't.
Take 5. Ready, camera 7.
I'll praise 'cause I know you're still in
Take 7.
control.
take 5. Ready, camera 6. 6, ready 1. 10 by 5, go to 5, ready 1. Gotta check your focus when he's moving back and forward. Nice. Ready, camera 4. Take 4. Ready 7. Take 7. Ready 2, take 2. Ready 4, take 4. Ready 1, take 1. Ready 5. Take 5. 7, follow him. Ready 1, take 1. 7. Alright, take 7. Hey John, can you get the kick maybe? Ready 2. 2, tilt up a little bit. Take 2. Ready 1. Take 1. Nice. Ready 5. Take 5. Ready 7. Take 7. Oh, sorry, I didn't. Ready 5. Take 5. Ready 7. Maybe. Take 7. Ready 1. Take 1. Follow Brandon. There you go. There you go. Ready 7. You can stay on back up. Take 7. Ready 4. Take 4. Ready 1. Stay there. Take 1. Ready 5. Kind of tilt right a little bit. There you go. Take 5. Ready 7. Take 7. Ready 2. Take 2. Ready 4. Take 4. Ready 1. Take 1. Ready 6. Take 6. 4. Take 4. Ready 7. Take 7. Ready 4, take 4. Ready 5, take 5. Ready camera 2. Take 2. Nice. Ready 4, take 4. Ready 1, take 1. Ready 5. Take 5. Ready 7. Take 7. You're on. Tilt down. There you go. Ready 2. Take 2. Let's go 4 next. Take 4. Pull your focus over to Brandon. Ready 6. Nice. There you go. Sweet. Yep. Oh, too much, too much. Ready 5. Take 5. Alright. Ready 4. Let's go back to 4. On Rana. Yep. Watch Rana. Ready 7. Take 7. Ready 2. Go back to the left. Take 2. 6. Ready 5. Take 5. Ready 1. Take 1. Ready 7. Take 7. Ready 5. Take 5. Okay, ready 4. Take 4. Ready 2. Tilt up a little on 2. Take 2. Ready 1. Take 1. Take 5. Ready 4. Take 4. Ready 7. Take 7. Ready 1. Take 1. Ready 5. Take 5. Ready 1. Ready 6. Take 6. 4 on the guitar. There you go. Take 4. Ready 7. Take 7. 1 on Rana. Yeah, on Rana. No, zoom in on Rana. Yep. Zoom in on 1. Zoom in on 1. Get close. Take 1. Take your focus on 1. Take camera 2. Take 2. 4, can you zoom in on Rana? Thank you, right there. Take 4. Take 2. Ready 5. Take 5. Ready 7. And he's gone. Take 7. Ready 1. Take 1. 5. Take 5. Ready 4. Take 4. Ready 2. Take 2. Ready 7. Take 7. Ready 5. Take 5. Ready 2. Tilt up on 2. Tilt up on 2. Ready 4. Take 4. 2. Take 2. Ready 1. Take 1. Ready 7. Take 7. Ready 4. Take 4. Ready 5. Take 5. Take 6. Ready 1. Take 1. Ready 5. Take 4. Ready 7. Take 1. Ready 7. Take 7. Camera 3. Camera 2. Take 2. Alright, 1 on Brandon. 1 on Brandon.
Amen. This next song
Take
is
1.
called Joy in the Morning. And that title comes from Psalm 30, which is the Psalm of David. And he says, "Sing to the Lord, all you godly ones. Praise his holy name, for his anger lasts only for a moment, but his favor lasts a lifetime. Weeping may last through the night." And this is a dark time for David. And he says, "But joy comes with the morning." And that joy that he's talking about, it has two meanings. It's joy, the emotion,
2, go ahead and zoom in a little
excitement,
bit.
happiness, and it's also praise. It's a
Right
praise
there,
of
and
joy
tilt down.
that comes in the morning. He's looking forward to it. He's
There you go.
looking
That's a
forward
shot. Ready
and
2.
praising
Take 2.
God in a hard time.
All right,
So let's
now ready
sing
to
that
zoom out
together.
slow.
Joy
1, 2,
comes
zoom
in the
out.
morning. Let's sing and praise him.
Nice slow zoom out. There you go. Yep, keep going. Keep going. Ready, camera 7. Just keep zooming. Nice. Ready, 6. Take 6. Ready, 7. Take 7.
Everything happens for a reason, but you don't know what you don't know. And you'll never have
Camera
peace if
3.
you don't let go of tomorrow.
3.
'Cause it ain't even faith till your plan comes apart.
but
Ready,
you
one.
still choose to follow.
Take one.
If it doesn't make sense right now, it will when it's over.
Ready, two. Take two.
There will be joy.
Ready, six.
in the
Take six.
morning.
Ready, four.
There will be
Take
joy
four.
in the
Ready, seven.
morning.
Hey, one, that was a good shot. You want to do that again? Take seven.
If it's
Ready,
not
one.
good, then he's not
Go
done.
tilt
No,
up a
he's
little bit.
not done
Tilt up on
with
one.
it yet.
And then pull it
There
down.
will be
Ready?
joy
Take one.
in the morning.
Nice. Ready?
Giving
Five.
in to your
And too tight.
feelings is like drowning in the
Ready, seven. Ready,
shallows.
four. Ready, four. Take four.
Oh, you gotta keep believing, even in the middle of the unknown.
Take six. Ready,
Grace will
seven.
be there when you come to
Take
the
seven.
end of your rope and you let go.
Nice.
It may
Ready,
feel like you're
two.
going
Take
down
two.
now, but the story
Ready,
isn't
four.
over.
Take four.
There will be joy.
Ready, five.
In the morning.
Take five.
There will be joy.
Ready, seven.
Morning.
Take seven.
And if it's not good, then he's not
Ready, four.
done. No, he's not done with it yet.
Take four.
There will be joy.
Ready, five.
In the morning.
Take five.
If it's
Ready,
not
one.
good, then he's not done.
Take
No,
one.
he's not done with it
Ready,
yet.
seven. Take seven.
If it's not
Ready, four.
good, then he's not done.
Take
No, he's
four.
not done with
Ready,
it
five.
yet.
Take five. Ready, two.
Not good, then
Take
he's not
two.
done.
Ready,
No, he's
seven.
not done with
Take
it
seven.
yet.
Ready, four. Take four. Ready, five. Take five. Ready, one. Take two. Ready, seven. Take seven. Ready, one. Follow Brandon. Follow Brandon. Ready, one. Take one. Ready, five. Take five. Ready, six. Ready, four. Take four. Ready, five. Take five. Ready, two. Ready, three. Take three. Ready, seven. Ready, one. Take one. Ready, seven. Take seven. Ready, five. Take five. Ready, four. Take four. Ready, one. Take one. Five. Take five. Ready, four on electric. Four on electric. Take four. Ready, six. Take six. Ready, two.
Becca's next.
Take two. Ready, Becca on one. Becca on one. Ready, seven. Take seven. Thank you, Kevin. Ready, two. Take two. One, zoom out a little bit. Ready, five. Ready, one. Take one. Ready, five. Take five. Ready, seven. Take seven. Ready, four. Take four. Ready, one. Take one. Follow Becca. Follow Becca. Ready, seven. Take seven. Ready, five. Take five. Ready, four. Take four. Ready, one. Take one. Ready, six. Ready, five. Take five. Ready, seven. Take seven. Ready, one. Take one. Ready, Ready 5. Take 5. Ready 7. Take 7. 1. Get a different shot, please. Ready 2. Take 2. Ready 1. Take 1. Ready 6. Focus.
So keep holding on, keep holding on.
Take 6.
Weeping may endure for a night,
Ready 7.
but joy is coming.
Take 7.
So keep holding on, keep holding
Ready 2.
on. 'Cause weeping may endure for a
Ready
night,
1.
but joy is
Take
coming.
1.
So keep holding on.
6.
Keep
Ready 7.
holding on. Weeping
Take
may
7.
endure for a night, but joy is coming.
Alright, 2 zoom in and then do a slow zoom out, okay? Zoom out.
Keep holding
Yeah, go in on 2.
Weeping may
And then ready, start zooming out on 2.
joy is coming.
Ready, camera
Start
for
zooming out on
host.
2. Ready 1 for host. Zoom out on 2. Yep, there we go. Keep going. Nice. Ready 1, here he comes.
Go host.
Nice work.
God, we trust you. Your character
Check
is
your focus
good.
on Bob, please.
We know that joy is coming, even when we can look around in our world and see things that are evil and
Awesome.
chaotic. We know that you are sovereign. You are in control. Nothing
Looks good.
escapes your notice. And we just want to calm our hearts this morning and just say that we trust you. But we also know that when things are on our heart, you ask us to come to you and pray. And as your people, we want to pray for your people, the nation of Israel, Lord. And when we don't know what to pray, we know we can pray your words because they reflect your heart. And so, God, we just pray Psalm 122, 6-9 over your people today. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you be secure. May there be peace within your walls and security within your citadels. For the sake of my family and friends, I will say, peace be within you. For the sake of the house of the Lord our God, I will seek your prosperity. And all God's people said, amen. Awesome. If you're here on site, go ahead and have a seat. If you're joining us online, we're so grateful that you're here with us today. I want to let you know,
Okay,
if you
2,
didn't
let's
catch the
zoom in
video
just a
at the
teeny
very
tiny bit,
beginning,
please.
we've got a fun day
Whoa.
planned on Sunday, November 5th. It is our
Up a little
Baptism
bit, yeah.
Sunday, and if you've been around Journey, we make baptism a
check
big deal
focus. I
because
think
we
he's a
think
little
that
soft.
baptism is a big deal to Jesus. The invitation
not
that
cutting off
Jesus
his head.
gave
There you
to
go. Good
all
focus.
people, anyone who would, was that they would come and that they would
Up a
follow
little bit
him
more.
and that they would
There we
put
go.
their
Awesome.
faith
Thank you.
and their trust and their hope in his life and his death and his resurrection on their behalf. But when we place our faith in him, Jesus made it clear that there's a second invitation, that we would be baptized, that we would go public with our faith. And the phrase that we use to describe baptism around Journey is that it is a public declaration of a new identification. We are identifying with the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus and telling the world we belong to him. He is our King. What we also believe is that decision to follow Jesus is a very personal decision. Everyone gets to make that themselves, decide who's going to be king of their life. It's a very personal decision, but Jesus makes it clear that it's not a private decision. It's something that we go public with the world and with our spiritual family. And so that's why we make a big deal out of baptism, and we're going to be doing that on November 5th. And so here's my question for you. Is now your time? Has God been nudging you, stirring something in you, and you know this is my time to go public with my faith? Maybe you've been following Jesus for a season of your life, but you've never been baptized. We want to invite you to do that. And maybe you're just saying, this is my decision. This is what I want to say to the world, that I'm deciding to follow Jesus. Is this your time. If that's true, we want to let you know that there's a QR code on the chair back in front of you, and you can scan on that and sign up to be a part of our baptism on November 5th. We would love to be able to do that with you. It's always so fun to just hear the stories that God is doing around our church over and over and over again. And the reality is that we get to see those stories and be a part of those stories because we have a generous church that allows us to do all the things that we get to do around here to see people's lives change. Just want to let you know that there are 3 ways that you can give around here. I want to invite you to be a part of that with us as well. Now is an opportunity for us as we step into the Word for us to quiet our hearts and just to really honestly ask God, what is it from the Word today, God, that you have for me? What are you saying to me?
Go video.
He just turned around and left.
Stand by, camera 1 on. Brian.
Speaker in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go speaker.
Camera 1.
I want to start this sermon off the way that every sermon should start, and that's with a dad joke. What kind of shoes does a frog wear? Open-toed shoes, obviously. All right, well, maybe that one didn't strike you. Okay, how about this one? If 19 and 20 were to get in a fight, who wins? 21. A little bit better. Okay. The beauty of humor, the beauty of dad jokes, is that they put a smile on our face. Sometimes they put a smile on our face because they're funny, and sometimes because they're not quite as funny, but it still makes us smile. And when we smile, what we actually communicate to the people around us and the people that are in our vicinity is that we're trustworthy, that we are encouraged by our surroundings, that we feel safe. That little bit of a smile does that. So if you had like a hope meter, and somebody's hope meter is just kind of going along at whatever level it's at, and there's a little joke or a little smile, that hope meter blips up for a second. And they're able to enjoy a little bit more hope. Now, it'll settle back down if there's not something to maintain that. But in a world where we know that hope is a struggle for us, we have an opportunity to just offer people just a little bit of hope, even if it's momentary. But what if we could do and make a change to people's hope that actually made that hope meter, instead of just going along and popping up for a second and then popping back down? What if we had the ability, as it was going along, to make it go up and then stay there, or even continue up? Because we know that hope is a struggle in our world today. So I would ask you, like, how's your hope meter? Where's that at today as you just sit here and reflect? Where is
Hey, Amelia,
your
if
hope
you wanna,
meter? Feels like ever since COVID, the last 3 or 4 years, it's just
Bring the camera
been
to the right a
one
little
thing
bit.
after another. We just read
And
day
down.
after day. Depression's up, anxiety's
Sorry, I
up,
forgot to
loneliness is up,
tell you
worry
could
is up.
go.
All those things
yeah,
are
right there.
true. That's happening in
hold
and
on
around
just a
everybody we
second.
know that hope is struggling. But maybe
Yeah, that's great.
part
If you
of
wanna
the
lock it down
challenge
there.
we face is that we have, to some degree, just forgotten that hope matters.
Go left just a
That
little.
we actually need hope
Yeah,
in our
right there,
lives
right
as the world has somewhat moved past God and said, oh, I don't need God in my life. We don't need God. We can do all this and things will work out great. And then we see everything heading
If
the
you
other
wanna get
direction.
down, you can. If not,
Maybe
if you
we
wanna
need
stay
to
on, that's cool too.
pause and
Thank you.
say, maybe we need as people hope. And maybe part of that hope comes from our Creator. What is hope? Like if you were defining hope, you would say that hope is something where we feel like we, in our life, have purpose and meaning and value. I expect the good to happen. I believe that the chaos is going to go away eventually. I don't think the chaos wins. I think order will come to fruition. And that's something that we all need. We need that hope in our lives just as we move forward. And I believe that God put that in us at creation. At the very moment of our creation, he instilled in us this desire for order and hope and purpose and meaning. If you go back to Genesis chapter 1, the very beginning, chapter 1, verse 1, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep. Bible scholar Tim Mackey says that we in our modern context don't understand that verse. Like the very first verse. And because we miss something in that, we don't understand how valuable and how intricate hope is in our lives. What he explains is that the idea of created, in the beginning, God created. Our modern mind, our enlightened minds, post-enlightenment, we take the word created and we say, that means that God made something where there was nothing. Something came from nothing. That's what our minds tell us. That's our interpretation of the idea of created. But what Tim says, the ancient mind would have approached that word created. What they would have said is, it's not that something came from nothing, it's that order came from disorder. In other words, the world was dark, formless, chaotic. There was no safety. And God stepped in, and as he created order. And order is what gives us our hope. In our context, as we move through life in America in 2023, in Bozeman, Montana, we need hope, but we need it in two different ways. See, we need hope for the future. We need an eternal, long-range, out-there hope. But we also need hope in our circumstances day to day to day to day. I want to unpack a little bit about each of those. And let's start with the idea of the long-range, eternal hope. You see, that hope comes from the questions, things like, does God win? Does God defeat evil? Is pain and suffering, is that going to just keep going on? Like, you pick up the news and you read what's happening in the Holy Lands this week and you just go, man, is there any hope that pain and suffering and evil is going to end? Has God just abandoned us to the chaos of our world, to leave us in despair and hopelessness? In other words, all those thoughts are the same question. They're saying, is there light at the end of the tunnel? Is there somewhere out there that I can put my hope, that I can believe that good is going to win, that order will reign, and that love will be the end result? Genesis 1's the beginning. God sets up hope in the beginning. At the end of Scripture, Revelation chapter 21, John writes, I saw the holy city, the New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride, beautifully dressed for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, look, God's dwelling place is now among the people. He will dwell with them. They will be his people. God himself will be with them and be their God. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death,
careful with the headroom,
or mourning, or crying, or pain. For the old order of things has passed away. This is our hope as a believer. That death has already been defeated, that we win in the end, and that we will be with God. There'll be no more mourning in that place. And for some of us, we've had that hope, that light at the end of the tunnel, but maybe it's a little bit dim. Maybe just everything that's going on has just kind of suppressed it for us a little bit. And maybe our hope meter's just not at its optimum level. For some of us, we've never had that. That hope's not even something that's part of our thought process or ever been part of our mindset. But that is the thought process. That future hope is absolutely critical in us moving forward. And so if that light is a little bit dim, if we're not sure about that, how do we boost that light? How do we engage and grow that hope for the future? just a couple thoughts about that. One would be, if Jesus is eternal, if God is eternal, and we're asking questions that have an eternal nature to them, would it not make sense to go that direction to ask the questions? In other words, via prayer, could we approach God and say, reveal this, help me understand what it is you say? Would it make sense for us to jump into the New Testament and understand, what does Jesus say about these things? What is Jesus about? Is he a trustworthy source? Can I have hope in what he is offering me as I move through my days and I look toward the future? Can I put myself in a position to be in and around people that already have that hope? That light at the end of the tunnel is bright and vibrant. Those people, when they are in my life, they can influence me, they can encourage me, they can challenge me to see the hope that I don't see, or to grow the hope that I need grown. One way I think about this idea of this long-range hope is I think about seasickness. I grew up around Seattle, and in Seattle, my dad had a sailboat. It was a pretty small boat, but we spent weekends and most of the summer with the boat. And in Puget Sound and in the San Juan Islands, usually the waters are pretty calm. But there are days where you get out on the Strait of Juan de Fuca or the Strait of Rosario, you get into some of these open water areas, and if the wind kicks up, the waves begin to really drive, and they hit the boat hard. And all of a sudden, that boat, which was calm, now starts to sway left to right, front to back, or all at the same time, both. And when that can happen, all of a sudden you get that sinking feeling in your stomach, and that seasickness kind of steps in. When you get seasick, if you've never done it, when you get seasick, your natural reaction, the natural thing you think to do, is to kind of curl up in a ball and kind of squeeze the pain. You kind of drop your eyes and kind of just kind of come inside yourself and try and get rid of that queasiness that you feel. And anyone who's been on a boat or has sailed much knows that's the exact wrong thing to do. Your nature tells you it's the right thing to do, but your nature is wrong. The thing you need to do when you have motion sickness or seasickness is get your eyes up. Find the horizon. You find the horizon, and the horizon is unique because the horizon is stable. It's unmoving. The horizon is fixed. It doesn't react to everything going on around you. It just stays there. And when we lift our eyes and fix them on Jesus, who is stable, who is consistent, who is unchanging, that can relieve that queasiness. That can be our hope. We have to get our eyes up. We have to look out to the eternal. We have to look to the future and not recoil into ourselves and drop our eyes as we would be prone to do. Paul writes it this way in 2 Corinthians. He says, therefore, we do not lose heart, though outwardly we are wasting away. Life is tough. It's chaotic. Things are going on. The news keeps coming at us. It's depressing and frustrating. Though outwardly we are wasting away, inwardly we are being renewed day by day. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen, since what is seen is temporary and what is unseen is eternal. If we raise our eyes and we look to that horizon of our faith, to that moment when we will be with God physically in his presence, surrounded by his kingdom, where there is no more mourning, no more death, no more pain, no more evil, that can give us hope. It can brighten the light at that end of the tunnel that can make us be encouraged and move forward. You see, a life with God, a life with hope, has its hope set not in somewhere to be, not, I don't want to set my hope on heaven. I don't want to set my hope on something. I set my hope on someone. It is that I will be with God in heaven that makes this hopeful. Not just that I'll be in a place. I'm not trying to get to some place. I'm trying to get to someone, my Father, who will take care of me. Our significance, our value, our meaning, our purpose is about who we are with more than where we are. The psalmist says it this way: why, my soul, are you downcast? Why so disturbed within me? Put your hope in God. Don't put your hope in something or some place, something temporal, something short-term. Put your hope in God, for I will yet praise him, my Savior and my God. My soul is downcast within me. Therefore, I will remember you. Life with God has hope because it looks out to the future and it knows that he wins, that chaos does not reign, that evil will go away. But even for some of you, you may have that hope. The light at the end of the tunnel may be bright, but that does not mean that today you aren't struggling, that your hope in the short term, your hope for today is really low. Your hope meter, if you will, is at rock bottom in this moment, this day. Yes, I have hope for the future, but today I lack hope. And that, if we look around our society, if we look at everything that's going on, if all the numbers are true in depression, that's got to be a piece of it. That we have lost hope in today. And hope for today, that requires us that we have purpose and meaning and value. That we believe there is some reason that we are part of today that we are. When people lose hope, they take drastic measures. They isolate. Suicide rates rise because they have no hope in today. We have to have our hope for now. But what's crazy is this is like not a new phenomenon. COVID didn't create this. Like, lack of hope in today is rampant throughout our culture and every other culture on the planet. It even goes back to when Jesus was teaching the disciples. The disciples are with Jesus, like with him physically, like touch him on the shoulder with him. And they walk through this. Mark chapter 4. That day when evening came, Jesus said to his disciples, let's go over to the other side. Leaving the crowd behind, they took him along just as he was in the boat. There were other boats with him. A furious squall came up, and the waves broke over the boat so that it was nearly swamped. Jesus was in the stern, sleeping on a cushion. The disciples woke him and said, Teacher, don't you care if we drowned? The disciples know. Dude, they are in it. They know what's coming. They have hope for the future. The light looks bright. They believe they're going to win. This is big time. And yet in this moment, on the Sea of Galilee, they lose hope. And they go to Jesus and they say, don't you care if we're going to drown? And that's, I think, a really relatable thing, at least for me. I don't know for you, but for me, as I go through my days, there are so many days where I'm like, don't you care if I'm going to drown? Like, I just feel that lack of hope in the moment, and it just brings me down. It is super frustrating. I know that there are people listening right now that have that same feeling. Man, I've got hope in the future. I know the end is good, but man, today, it's hard. Today doesn't feel very hopeful. What do you practically do about that? Like, what do we do to restore or regain or grow hope today when we're in that spot? I think it kind of goes back to the same ideas we were just talking about. Get your eyes up. Get on the horizon. Think about him who is eternal, that there is that good end. And then on top of that, get with people that can encourage you. Involve yourself in lives. Get engaged with people in a way that you find purpose. When you engage in the lives of others, you find purpose in your life and in your day. Get yourself involved in that. I don't know if you've seen the movie. It came out a couple years ago. Tom Hanks is in it. It's called A Man Called Otto. Couple disclaimers. Not a Christian movie. It is got some thematic elements that should not be seen by younger kids. It's at least high school and up, probably, from a thematic side. It's dealing with really hard issues in this gentleman's life. That said, the arc of the story and what this totally secular, totally non-Christian movie paints is exactly what the Gospels teach us. Here's this guy. Family situation has destroyed his hope in today. His work situation has even further destroyed his hope in today. He lacks any hope whatsoever. He is at wit's end. And as he moves into that moment, this couple comes into his life and he begins to invest in them very reluctantly, very grumpily, if that's a word. He's very frustrated that they are stepping into his space. And yet, as he begins to invest in these folks and they invest back into him, all of a sudden you can see it. His hope begins to return. He begins to feel that he has a purpose today. And when he has a purpose, it makes him more hopeful. And then he invests more and becomes more hopeful. That is what we can do. That is our story. When we lose hope, we've got to get outside ourselves, because even when we lose hope for today, what we want to do is recoil into ourselves. It's just like that being seasick. We start to see our shoes and we don't keep our eyes up. But as we raise our eyes to our friends, our family, our coworkers, our brothers and sisters, we begin to invest in them. And then we feel hope. And then they invest back and we invest more. And hope rises on all sides. You could ask yourself, if you're in that place where you feel like, man, I don't have a lot of hope today, things are not very good, maybe who could I invest in? Who could I love on? Who could I serve? You could even be sitting here today and maybe your hope meter is like really good. I'm cruising in life. Maybe there's someone you need to just ask the question, how's your hope meter? How are you doing? Are you okay? Do you need a word of encouragement? Do you need someone to come alongside you? What I find interesting about, as I was just processing this and thinking about this idea that we look out and we fix our eyes on Jesus, but at the same time, we help people and engage with people, it makes me start thinking about what I believe to be one of Jesus' core teachings in Matthew 22. Jesus says, he's being challenged by some Pharisees, and the Pharisee says, "Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law?" And Jesus replies, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment, and the second is like it, love your neighbor as yourself." If you've been around faith or around Christianity for very long, you've probably heard those. That's a very core tenet or teaching to what Jesus has. But think about that. All he's saying is, fix your eyes on God. Get your eyes off yourself and get your eyes on God. That will restore your long-term hope. And get your eyes and fix your eyes on people and engage with and encourage people. And when you love God and love people, you will get hope. You will have hope grown and restored within you. It's weird because life is not going to be a bed of roses. Like, you can do the right. I can invest in God. I can get to know God. I can grow close to God. And I can be investing in people and pouring out my life into people. And it does not mean my life is a bed of roses. It does not mean that my circumstances will really get better automatically. When the disciples were in the boat, right, their circumstances were scary. They weren't the circumstances they want. So what did they do? They went to Jesus. Don't you care if we drowned? They went to Jesus right there and said, help us. Get involved with us. But if we love God and love people, even though our circumstances may not dramatically change, what you will be doing, what I will be doing, is we will be fulfilling the purpose for which we were created. You were created. You were actually made in His image to love Him and love people. When we don't do that, we lack purpose. When we lack purpose, we lack hope. Hope comes when we do the thing we were meant to do. When we love God and we love people. We fulfill our purpose. That's the purpose for everybody, whether they know it or not. The people in your life that are far from God or have rejected God or whatever else, that's their purpose. They may not know it, but that's their purpose. Their purpose is to love God and love people. It's why our society is struggling. Our society wants to preach love people. That's awesome. Love people. That's awesome. Love people. That's awesome. But if we don't love God in that process, hope tanks. We see it. That's the circumstances we find ourselves in. We have to help people understand they've got to love God and love people. That's why we were created. That's our design. If something is created for something but not doing it, if I take a screwdriver and I pound a nail in, I may get the nail a little bit closer, but I am taking something that has a different purpose, trying to use it for the purpose it was not created. If I use a screwdriver to drive in a screw, it works great. And we as people have a purpose. We were created with a purpose to love God and love people. It's kind of funny. I grew up outside of the church. My family, as a young person, we did not go to church. It just wasn't something that was a part of our lives. And it was interesting as I came to faith in my high school years, I began to ask the question of, why do people go to church on Sunday morning? That is so weird. Like, do you know how many fun things you can do on a Sunday morning? Like, I did not understand as a new believer, like, why in the world? Like, there's football on, you can get outside. Like, there's so many things we could be doing. Why do people go to church? And then they do it the next week and the next week. Like, what is the deal? Like, that was such a bewildering concept to me as a new believer. But years later now I understand. I understand because what happens all week, right? All week we just take body shots. Man, relationship struggles, this hits, work that, school here. Like, we just taking shots all week and we get worn down. And that light, that hope, that just takes a little bit of dings. And so what do we do about that? As believers, we get up and we come together. And what do we do when we come together on a Sunday morning? Well, the first thing we do is we love God, right? We spend time in worship. We spend time in teaching and talking about His Word. Like, we learn and grow in our love for God. That's why we're here. That's one of the reasons we're here. But the other reason we're here is we love people. As we're here, we get a fist pound or high five or hug or whatever, have conversations with people. We get to see how they're doing and they get to see how we're doing. Like, the simple act of loving God and loving people, after all of the body shots of the week, start to give us a little bit of renewed hope. It's encouraging. It's encouraging for us to engage together in this way. For those of you that are online, there's two different groups of people online. There's one group of people that are online right now that's what they have to do. There's health things or there's a million reasons, but they're online full-time and they have to be. And my message to you would be this. You're going to get the love God part of what we're talking about because you're going to get the worship and you're going to get the teaching, and that's awesome. But I want to make sure you make an effort to love people. Find a way to get around people. How are you doing that? Because if you take the body shots all week and only get the one half, I worry that depletes your hope over time. But your hope can grow when you get around the fellowship of believers. The other group of people online, or some, are folks that got in the habit. Like, if we're being honest, like, the technology and the fact that we can do this is awesome. And I would never discount it, and I'm so thankful that people join us remotely. And 2 weeks ago, I was online because I was down in Arizona. It's such a great way to stay in contact. But I would encourage you, if you can come, and you have the opportunity to do so, I would encourage you to do that, because what that does is allows you to love people. You get around people, you rub shoulders with weary travelers, other people that took the body shots, and all of a sudden we can get that encouragement from that time together. So a lot of what we've been talking about is really focused on kind of our hope, or my hope, right? Like, how do I have this future hope? How do I have hope today? I need both, because if I have both, I can be a hopeful person and I can pass that on. But let's stop for a moment, and instead of thinking about our own hope, let's think about the people around us. And I don't mean around us, like physically, like if you're online in a room or in this room. I'm thinking about the people in our sphere of influence of life. I'm thinking about your coworkers, your friends, your family members, if you're still in school, your classmates. I know that each of us know people that are lacking hope, that are depressed and anxious and lonely. And there's a lot of things that have to happen on that. But one thing I would ask you is, are you or would you be willing to step into that with them? As you know someone at work or wherever that is their hope meter is rock bottom, would you step into that with them? Would you give yourself the
Got a parent call
opportunity
coming
to
in.
help raise up their hope? And you might be sitting there going, well, how would I do that? Like, what would that look like? Do I need a theology degree? Do I have to memorize the entire Old Testament? Like, what does that look like? I'm going to give you a what does that look like that's really simple. And everyone is qualified to do it. The option I would offer you that you could do is within the context of relationship with people you know at work and your family, your friends. Just invite them to come experience what you experience on a Sunday morning, right? We come to church to renew our hope, to restore our spiritual selves because we want to love God and love people, and we get in that environment to do that. Bring somebody with you. Just ask somebody to join you on a Sunday morning and come sit by you. And you might say, well, I think they probably wouldn't say yes. Lifeway did a study recently. 80% of people that do not attend church said if invited by someone they had relationship with, they would go. 80%, that's a huge number. Like, how can you get 80% of Americans to agree on anything? Like, we can't even agree on anything at that level. And 80% of Americans say, if someone I have a relationship with asked me to go to church, I would go with them. And that would give that person who is struggling with hope the opportunity to be engaging in worship and teaching and love God, get to know God a little bit more, and at the same time be around you wonderful smiling people and be able to rub shoulders and gain hope from loving people as well. Almost every week I spend time with someone, either in my office, coffee, grabbing lunch, and they're new to faith. They're re-engaging faith. And I love to hear those stories. I'm very thankful that I get to be a part of that conversation. But here's what I will tell you that might encourage you as you think about this. Almost everybody has a similar path to how they've re-engaged their faith. It was, in most cases, I've not run across a lot of people that had like an angelic sighting, although that would be super cool. They didn't have some magical thing happen in their lives. Most often, what I hear is someone says, yeah, you know, I was just really struggling, and my friend Joe, they just invited me to go to church with them, so I came to Journey, and man, I was encouraged. I heard about, they don't say, I heard hope. I heard that there's hope out there. That if I could engage God, maybe that could help me engage some more hope in my life, because life without God is pretty hopeless, let's be honest. And so I hear that over and over. I even recently had somebody tell me, this is nuts. I had somebody tell me, and this is, I swear to you true, because you won't believe me. They were at work. They have disengaged faith for their whole life. The other person at work had disengaged faith their whole life. The two of them are having lunch. They're having a conversation. The person who I'm talking to says they've been pouring out how hopeless they feel and how life sucks and what's the purpose and why go on. And this unbelieving person says, sounds like you need some hope in your life. Why don't you go to church? Hey, I heard Journey is kind of like a pretty safe place there. You could go to Journey and do it. They had the courage to come. Like, they actually came and began to engage their faith. And I'm talking to them a month later, and all of a sudden, this person is alive and flourishing, and their hope meter is off the charts high. And it's just because somebody made the simple suggestion, well, why don't you just try going to church? So we can have that impact. There are 2,000 people that will engage in either in person or online this weekend here at Journey. Imagine if each of us walked out of here and said, okay, I got one person. I don't have to change the world. I don't have to solve the hunger crisis in whatever country. I don't have to, deal with I just need to give hope to one person. So over the next month, I'm going to invite one person to engage with me at Journey in Faith. That would be 4,000 people then, right? 2,000 now, each one comes. Gallatin Valley is about 100,000 people. That's 4% of the population. Do you realize if we kind of did that repeatedly within 6 months, everyone would have had the opportunity? Doesn't mean everybody's going to take it. Our job isn't to make people do stuff. Our job is just to present the opportunity. Would you be willing to say, I'm going to invite one person that I know is struggling with hope, that's a little bit down. I want to give them that opportunity by engaging in church with them next to me. That is my challenge or prayer or hope for you. Will you pray with me? Father God, we are so thankful for you being the God of hope, that you came down and you gave us hope by your death and your resurrection.
It's alive.
That life without you, I cannot imagine what life without you would be like. But God, I know that there's many of us that we have you, we have a relationship with you,
Laura,
and yet we are still struggling with hope in our lives right now. Would you encourage us, Lord? Would you give us just a sneak peek, a smile, something to engage and raise our hope meter, Lord?
We have Brandon
and
doing
would you then
the
help us to be people that would do the
acapella
same
on Christ
with
the Rock I
others
Stand.
in and around our life? Would you help us to engage them and give them
Stand
hope, Lord?
by.
You
Camera 2, go to the left a
are
little
our
bit, please.
rock. You are the one that you are the
right
horizon we
there.
can look at that is stable and unchanging. And I pray, Lord, that you would help us to do that today. In Jesus' name, amen. If you would, please stand with us as we continue to worship.
My hope
Take
is
one.
built on nothing less than
Ready,
Jesus'
camera 4. Zoom in on
blood
Brandon, please.
and righteousness.
There you go. Awesome.
I
Take 4.
dare not trust
Ready, camera 7.
the sweetest frame, but wholly lean
Take 7.
on Jesus' name. On Christ the
1, can you get it? No, you can't. That's all right. Never mind.
rock I
Go to 2.
stand.
Hold it 7.
All
Hold
of the ground is sinking
2's left.
sand. All of the ground is sinking
Ready, 1.
sand. Sing that again. On the Christ,
Take
the
1.
solid rock I stand. On Christ
Ready,
the
camera 4.
solid rock I stand. All of the ground
Ready, camera 7.
is sinking
Take 7.
sand. All of the ground is sinking sand.
All right, 1 can go to Christina. Still on 7. Ready, camera 6. Take 6. Ready, 1. Ready, camera 2. Take 2. Ready, camera 1. How long is this intro? Take 6. Ready, camera 1. There we go. Take 1.
Here is where I lay it down. Every burden, every
Ready, 7.
ground. This is my surrender.
Take 7.
This is my surrender. Here is where I lay it down.
Take
Every
6.
lie and every doubt.
Ready, 1. Take
This
1.
is my surrender.
Ready, 4. Take 4.
And I will make room for you.
Ready, 7's next. Ready, 2 actually.
Do whatever you
Take 2.
want to.
Ready, 7.
To do whatever you want to.
Take 7.
And I will make room for you.
Ready, 6. Take 6.
To do whatever you want to.
Ready, 4.
To do whatever you want
You zoom out on 4.
to, Jesus.
Take. Oh, okay. Take 7.
Every burden, every crown.
She still have that.
This is my surrender.
Ready, 1. Hold it there, 1.
My
Ready,
surrender.
1. Take 1.
Here is where I lay
Ready,
it
4.
down. Every
Let's zoom back out a little bit.
every doubt.
Yeah, right there. Ready, 4. Take 4.
My surrender.
Ready, 7.
And I will
Take
make
7. Ready, 5. Take 5.
to do whatever you want to.
Ready, 4.
Do whatever you want to.
Take 4.
And I will make
Ready, 1.
room for you.
Take 1. Ready, 2.
To do whatever you want to.
Take 2.
To do whatever
Ready, 7.
you want to.
Take 7.
Jesus.
Ready, 1. Follow Brandon. Take 1. Ready, 5. Take 5. Ready, 7. Take 7. Ready, 4. Ah. Okay. Ready, 1. Take 1. Ready, 5. Take 5. Ready, 1. Take 1. Ready, 4. Take 4. Ready, 7. Take 7. Ready, 1. Take 1. Ready, 5 next. Take 5. Ready, 1. Take 1. Ready, 6. Ready, 7. 7. Take 7. Ready, 1. Take 1. Ready, 4. Tilt down a little bit. Take 4. Ready, 1. Tilt down a little bit on 1. Take 1. Ready, 5. Take 5. Ready, 7. Take 7. Ready, 2.
To do whatever you want.
2's live. Ready, 1.
To do whatever you want to.
Take 1.
And I will make room
Ready, 7 next.
for you.
Take 7.
To do whatever you want to.
Ready, 2.
To do whatever you want to.
Take 2.
Jesus, here is
Ready,
where
4.
I lay it down.
Take 4.
You are all I'm chasing now.
Ready, camera 1.
This is
Tilt down
my
a little.
surrender.
There you go, right there. Hold it. Nope, go back, go back, go back, go on. Okay.
Here is
Ready, 7.
where
Take
I
7.
lay it down. You
Ready, camera
are
2.
all I'm chasing now.
Take
This
2.
is my surrender.
Ready, 1.
Ready, camera for
Take
close.
1.
This is my surrender.
Ready, 2. No, 1. That's all right.
Go
Okay.
close.
1 for host.
If you happen to be new around here this weekend, I want to
Slide left.
encourage you. One, we don't
Thanks,
have
John.
bad jokes very often. That's a really rare thing. So you don't have to put up with that. But right outside these doors
go ahead and
are
zoom
some
in
tables with some folks that
slowly.
would love to meet you and just be able to share with you what's going on around Journey if you want to get connected, those types of things. So encourage you for that. If you're someone who's feeling like
Check your
the
focus
hope
on
thing
1,
resonates with me
please.
and I'm struggling a little bit with that, I'd love to have someone to talk to or pray with. We'll have folks at the end, each end of the stage that would love to pray with you, pray for you,
Stella,
just
hear
listen
me?
to you, whatever it might be that you could use.
Check your focus, please, on 1.
So finally, the last thing I want to
She looks like she's in focus
is
down here.
just encourage you with a
Oh, really?
scripture. Just kind of
Yeah,
save
his
you with
buttons
the
aren't in focus.
old school benediction, and that would be this: May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace
Maybe it just,
as you trust in Him, so that you may
blurry? I don't know.
overflow.
Maybe it's his shirt.
Overflow with hope by the power of
It's
the
just
Holy
not as
Spirit.
sharp as 2. It's weird.
And all God's people
There we
said,
go, slides. Thanks, everybody.
have a great week, Journey.
Camera 1 out.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Good job, everybody. Thank you so much for serving. Don't forget to put your cameras away and comms away. Oh yeah, and name tags.